Because if I know black people like I know black people, they could curb stomp him in the kitchen when he get there. You can leave the baby on the ground? Okay. But I've had some time to think and to process the first episode. I'm here to tell y'all I hate Lestat. Like, I hate Lestat. I want y'all to understand I could be gangbanging on that relationship until they state that. Okay, I am against it. Like, and now that I've clarified my positions and what I knew I saw in the first episode, you can't convince me that Lestat didn't kill his brother, like intentionally isolate him from everybody in his life and had him under a spell to convince him to become a vampire. Lord God. Anyway, I just want to tell y'all I hate him. Now, for the second episode, let's run it back. The episode opens up in the present day where Malloy is at Louis' house and Louis' employees are like rolling out food for him and stuff. And so Malloy asks his one employee, like, hey, what's up? How long you been working for him? Like, what's the arrangement here? And the guy was like, I serve a god, okay? And I'm honored to do it. I'm like, bruh. You really gotta be a goofy loser, groupie bitch, babe. Like, I can't even understand. Like, imagine you raise a son that see a man as like a blood-sucking demon and be like, oh, that's my god. Oh, I'd be honored to serve him. Pussy. Like, I'm like, oh my god, this man ain't serious, but I serve a god. I say, Jesus Lord. Louis finally comes out and he tells Malloy he's sorry for his outburst in the last episode and that it's not gonna happen again. He starts forcing Malloy to have a 6-course meal while he starts telling the story again. So Louis starts telling the story while he sip wine, while he sip blood through a wine glass. So we flash back to where Louis is becoming a vampire because to update you, he let... I know he was... I ain't gonna blame him because I don't want to victim blame because it's very clear to me that Lestat's bitch ass had him under a trance, like he's isolated him from everybody in his life and all of that at the time in which he chose to be a vampire. But dog, I having a hard time believing it makes sense to me that you looking at it. Kill the priest. You just learned he killed your bottom bitch, Miss Emily. And you have every reason to believe that he might have caused your brother's death. At the very least, he don't give a about your brother's death because he rolling up on you at the funeral talking about why you ghost me. What about that? What about a white man? Think about this. For what we know, we could get to it, but for how we know Louis feels about how white people giving it up in them days, I cannot understand what would make Louis feel like a white man with all the powers, privileges, and dickheadishness to him, but also is a blood-sucking demon massacring the priest. What about that would make you feel like, you want to get married? Maybe we should be together forever. Like, word? Annoying. So anyway, when we see Louis, he is writhing. He's like now in the agonizing part of his transition. And Lestat is over there. They wheeling out the priest they just kill. The Lestat just kill. And now Louis is feeding for blood. So he goes to go drink from the priest. And Lestat tells him, no, we don't drink from the dead. We drink from the living. So now they there high off blood while Louis try to figure out how to his new urges. And Lestat is there trying to teach him. And they trying to figure out how he could drink. And what's so funny to me is they walking around and Lestat is teaching him like how the world is now for you as a vampire. He could tell him about the humans, like, oh, they were once your brothers and sisters, but now they're your savory inferiors. And I'm like, you see what I'm saying? That's what he thinks. Like, first of all, like, not only does Lestat constantly, we could get to it, just always gaslight this man and play like he don't understand racism and racial dynamics and all this stuff in America. Meanwhile, you out here calling the humans your savory inferiors. So whether or not you telling me you didn't understand that he was black or these dynamics and all this stuff, which he absolutely fucking does, right? Because let's not forget, the first thing he ever say to Louis, the first thing he said was, oh, I'm surprised they let your black ass come through the door. That's the first thing he ever say to them. So now he talking about, oh, it's savory inferiors, which tells me, what did you see this man as? You see him as a human, and every which way kind of beneath you. And here you are using your undue vampire influence on him to turn him into your concubine for life. I hate this Lestat. Like, Lestat really is the white devil. The white devil. And just like the white devil, here he go preying on people, right? So they go to the bar. He like, oh, pick out somebody. Louis picks out this white man to kill who is like, you know, he looked like he's a sailor. I know. He talking to the other guys. And Lestat is like, oh, no. It could take you pick the prettiest guy in the bar. It'll take you all night just to separate him from the people. And then people will be looking for him in the morning. Let the prey come to you, right? And so then they go look over at this poor, helpless nerd and the mark just on him. They say, that's our kill. So now this little loser man talking Louis head off about his life, the trip to something, or he sell farm equipment, these do something. And they take him back to the crib, right? Now he was just talking about his wife and Jaren, but they take him back to the crib and he's like, oh, let's be clear, gentlemen. I'm just here to talk about farm equipment because it's very clear he is a closeted gay man married to his wife and has children, but when he go on his little trip, he won't go get him a little quiet time with the fellas them, right? So he wanted to have a little discreet thing, but instead of getting a little discreet something, he get killed. He get killed. Louis, oh Lord, I say, what is this? Kill the man immediately. Then after that, once Louis drink this man, he started freaking himself out. He's like, I need to go home. I have things to do. He was just a human. He wouldn't go back to his human life to some degree. The things he have to do. He's like, oh, I have to go home. Elsie is like, not Elsie, Lestat and this bitch ass, man. I was calling him Elsie the first episode because I didn't want to say Lestat. That name just wasn't rolling off my tongue. But I just don't feel the need. I don't feel right calling the white devil nickname. So Lestat and this bitch ass, right? Lestat is like, oh, this is your home now. This is your home, Louis. And Louis is like, no, don't get the up off me, Louis. Spot kick that, push him all the way to the thing and gone outside. Now, the minute and as he was going outside, Lestat was like, you're gonna have a hard time doing that. And mind you, I thought, because Lestat's so wicked, I say, oh Lord, he won't go home. Lestat done murder your whole family, eh? But no, he go outside and immediately start blaming up because his ass agreed to be a vampire before reading the terms and services. You can't be in the sun. Like, it never even occurred to him to ask Lestat what he is. Like, his dumb ass just the whole time he was friend with him. Oh, you and your tricks where you just read mind and stop time. Then he saw a viciously decapitate and murder priests, and he was like, I want to do that too. He ain't even asked the man what he is. And the funny thing is, I'm like, I trying to think to myself, if I didn't know I was watching a show of vampires, if I was just walking through my life and I met a white man who read my mind and stopped time, and then the next time I saw him after I was in the church begging the priest them to free me from said scary white man who stops time and reads minds, I then saw him rip the priest's head off, I would probably think that this is the Antichrist. Like, I trying to think, like, what could you be? Like, imagine a white man on all fours flying through the air, murking a priest, and then trying to sell you on anything. I'm sorry, I need to talk about this recap, but I just flabbergasted by that still. Louis, what are these choices? Louis? So anyway, once he go outside and start burning up like the sun, he run his ass back to Lestat house, and then Lestat is like, oh, come now to bed, and he come and bring out the coffin. Louis is like, I know I am not sleeping in no coffin. And Lestat going and get ass naked to get in the coffin and invite him in the coffin like, we could get you your own. And I'm just like, respectfully too, why they gotta sleep in the coffin? Like, you already in this dark ass house. You can't see the sun from outside because y'all are vampires, and y'all ain't got no gas coming in and out of it. It ain't like y'all at the risk of somebody just open up your door. Why do you voluntarily want to sleep in the coffin? Make sense, Lestat. Lestat is, let me tell you, just like white supremacy, it don't make no sense. I can't stand Lestat there. So then we skip to the present where Louis is obviously telling the story to Malloy, right? So he just told the story of him getting his ass in getting butt naked and getting in the coffin to go continue start after a night of killing men who just selling farm equipment, killing priests. And he's like, oh, I came out that night, I made the choice for myself, to get in that coffin with him. In that coffin with him as a vampire, we were equals. And let me tell you something, Malloy, that white man is the realest in the room. That's what Louis there. Because Malloy was like, as he's like, oh, we were equals in that coffin. Malloy was like, white master, black servant, equals in the dark, right? Yeah, like, because what the are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about, Louis? Like, so then as they having this conversation, Malloy and Louis starts being a weirdo. He brings out a living rabbit just so he could eat this rabbit in front of Malloy and start making some points and foolishness about how the book should be a warning to people. Then he starts talking about how as vampires, they part of the divine plan, the ability to see all of man's life in front of them, and then having the ability to end it and all this different bullshit and being the architect to life and death, some kind of nonsense. And Malloy is sitting there like, I hope you don't expect the readers to go for this shit. Like, So we see more of Lestat trying to teach Louis about his about his powers, and then Louis realizes, oh, he could read minds, right? Because Lestat starts telling him what the people around him are thinking. Louis was like, oh, well, stop holding up on the powers. Teach me how to do that. I want to read people's minds. And Lestat is like, oh, what a inconvenient, cumbersome gift we have as vampires to hear humans' pointless thoughts and blah blah blah. And I tell you, Lestat's so, just like a white supremacist to be full of shit. Oh, humans' thoughts are so pointless. You don't care. They're so uninteresting. But was you not just spending your time reading all the Louis thoughts so that you could seduce him? You piece of shit. Shut up. Like all around the people. And then he was like, all humans' thoughts all boil down to either I want food, I want to go home, and I want sex. And I was like, shut the up. Like, shut the up, you arrogant piece of shit. Like, you clearly don't kick it with nobody. You know what I mean? I was like, but you have all this immortality and all these gifts and stuff. You clearly haven't bothered to use it to go have no enlightened conversation with no enlightened people. Because let me tell you something. First and foremost, some of us want
sandwiches.
Okay? We want
toxic broccoli.
We want to chill. We want cats. We want, like, did he even say bread? What he said? I want food. I want to go home. And I want sex. It wasn't even I want money. I want bread. Wasn't even on the list. I want mental stability. Wasn't on the list. I want equality, freedom. He literally standing next to a black man who every opportunity he gets start making noise about the inequality of being a black man in America. And this mother... Oh, all humans want is food, to go home, and sex. No, all you want, bitch ass... hate Lestat. Like, I hate him. I supposed to be cracking jokes with y'all. See, y'all want me to watch the show? I see House of Dragons. I was cracking my little jokey jokes. Y'all want me to watch this? And all I doing is sitting there like this. Every time Lestat open his mouth, I'm like, why don't you shut the up? Even the examples he was pointing to, he was like listening to a homeless man, he was listening to a woman, and he was listening to a black man on the road to like illustrate his points that all people just either want food or want sex or want to go home. And that was such a wild, ignorant oversimplification of what them people were saying. The homeless man was talking about he's hungry, and they in the church talking to him about, oh, he should just pray, but he can't eat, like pray and God ain't who could give him food, right? I'm like, you don't feel like that boils down to a little bit more than he wants food? Maybe like some basic human rights, some equality, bitch ass. And the black man was talking about wanting to make it and wanting to accomplish something and wanting to leave. Anyways, man, I hate Lestat. Damn white devil. So then when we next see, Louis decides that he wants to go see his family, right? Even though Lestat is all like, oh, you're a vampire now, you need to end these human affiliations, right? But Louis goes to go see his family. And what's so funny is the first thing I thought when the first thing I thought when I saw Louis this episode, when he was writhing in pain during the transition, my first thought was, how the f you figure you go home with purple eyes? How you feel like you can explain why your black ass has purple eyes in 1912? Where you get them from? They have any like they don't even have no dollar store with no colored eye contacts. But you know what? He was on top of that because he showed up to his mommy. He showed up to his mommy house in fashionable shades, to which his mommy then thought to herself in her mind, as he could read, was this gay. his mommy in her mind. He listening to her mommy mind. Her mommy's like, just like a homosexual to be doing their nails like that and wearing these gay ass shades. So then from there, after he leaves his bitch ass mommy, you know what I thought was funny though? When Lestat greets the mommy. Lestat is such a shady bitch, and it is make me laugh the way he's be shady. I ain't gonna lie. I hate him, but this was funny to me because I can't even stand Louis mommy. Lestat was like, thank you for the invitation. She was like, I don't remember inviting you, but take your overdress. She was like, take your overdress ass and go have some fun. And he was like, he said, I see you with a banjo band in your, he said, oh, I see you with a banjo band in your front yard. But the way, he didn't have to say anything else. It was just the way it was like, she shaded him. And my mind just was like, right. Anyway, you have a banjo yard in your, you have a banjo band, you peasant bitch. Like, that made me laugh so hard the way he do it. He was like, right, very well then. You happen to have a banjo band in your front yard. So then Louis gone to go see his sister, and his sister was super excited to see him. She ain't seen him in forever because he don't come around because he's a vampire. So she that excited. She hugging him. She pregnant. He immediately, because he's a vampire, he can hear the baby's heart beating. So he tell her, oh, you're pregnant. She was like, who tell you? He was like, oh, nobody. And then he tells her that she's having twins. She takes his shades off. She takes his glasses off and sees his purple eyes. And she goes, oh, your eyes are like church windows. And he was like, oh, same me, same eyes. And she was like, no, different you and better you. I love you. Come around more. And I was like, listen, now, hold on now. I love Louis' sister. I love his sister. And I love their relationship. And I love that she's be prepared to accept and embrace him and love him and that he gets to experience that. How ever. If you as a have a fellow sibling and said sibling disappears in 1912 because they've become the companion, it seems, to the white devil from France, and they show up hiding in shades, and when you take their shades off, their eyes are now suddenly purple. Not contacts, but they have purple eyes. Would you or would you not have a priest perform an exorcism on this purple-eyed immediately? What the I was like, you don't have no questions for him? Like, how his eye get to be purple? Anyway, now, when we next see Louis is in the sharpest suit. Let me say that. Ever since Louis became a vampire and he be kicking it with Lestat, he be dressing down. Okay, he be dressing like Steve Harvey, like Steve Harvey's stylist work for him. He's in the flyer suit, and he is, remember early in episode 1, the white people had offered him that shitty deal where they'd be like, oh, we give you 15% to like act on our behalf and basically run and do all the labor of us trying to like set up whatever whorehouse or whatever the they're gonna do, right? So he is talking to this white man on behalf of the alderman, and the alderman is all like, oh boy, oh, like looking at him like he's a dumb all the time. He talking about the more he talks, the more he explains everything or whatever. The white man is like, oh, you's a good shoe. Oh, you smart. Oh, they giving you a good 15%. You deserve. Oh, what a good clever. Oh, ho, 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 you're good. And so he's like, you know what I just realized? I'm actually a vampire. I should kill this. Like, he was like, yo, Louis starts talking, telling Malloy, my whole life as a black man, I've been forced to deal with these kind of indignities. Yes, sir. Why they call me boy and talk down to me and all this. I said, and Louis was like, that picked the wrong night to be on shit. Murked him. Now when he murks him, Lestat all hot. Lestat mad as and it's so funny to me because Lestat could be flying in church, killing priests, killing random white men on the street, killing Miss Emily, killing whoever the he want kill. Now all of a sudden he's acting like he's so discreet and he's so selective and so particular about how he's be killing and who he's be killing. I mean, now that Louis killed somebody, Louis is like, you don't get it. He disrespected me. And Lestat was like, how did he disrespect you? And he was like, he told me he told me I did a good job. Lestat was like, I don't understand what the problem is. I'm confused because Louis ain't saying this thing because Louis ain't bothering to explain like, oh, he telling me I did a good job, boy, and talking down to me and all of that. And so Louis was like, you don't get it. You don't get it, white man. Like I'm color. He's like, you don't get it. You don't get America. And I really, this whole bullshit we doing where we acting like racism in France, or like Lestat doesn't have any understanding of racism or the racial dynamics in America. He's fully aware of the racial dynamics in America. He's fully again, I want to remind y'all, the first thing he said to Louis was, how your black ass even make it past the door. He seems to understand that. And it's crazy to me how a vampire who's been alive for however much longer on this earth is playing crazy like he don't understand. Anyway, so Louis says to him, colored, white, Creole, French, which is an excellent point, by the way. That Creole French distinction by like to him, the black man is Creole, but this white man is French, right? So colored, white, Creole, French, and Lestat just keep running on. He mad about the police. He's like, the police are gonna be looking for him. This is an important man. I killed some priests. He's like, for all you know, people just be like, oh, the priest, he was diddling, cheering. But you want to kill an important man, the police could be looking. And so Louis is like, you don't understand. I ain't trying to hear that. So when you next see them, they sleeping and they laying in their coffins. They're separate coffins, closed next to each other. And Lestat could be like, just for the record, I want to state, if he had disrespected you, I would have killed him myself. Notice he said if. This black man has already told him, matter of factly, he disrespected me. These, and it's not like what are you debating? We know for a fact these are all racist white supremacists in New Orleans in what, like 1912. You know that's what are you ain't sure about? Like it's up for, like it's still up in the air whether or not he was disrespected. If he had disrespected me, disrespected you, I would have killed him myself. I say you thought you was being cute, but I heard that. I heard you, white devil. And so then Lestat sits up and Lestat's like, what can I do to make it up to you? And so Louis says, I want to buy the fair play. And then as Lestat immediately goes, oh, that's ambitious. And I say, you see this white devil here? He done. Lestat trying my patience, okay? He is trying my patient. Oh, and I forget, before they even end up in their coffin, when Lestat was just mad about him killing this guy, Lestat is like, oh, listen, you're out of control. You need to behave, fledgling, blah, 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 blah. Show restraint, fledgling, blah, 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 whatever, fledgling. And Louis was like, it's starting to sound a lot like slave. Stop saying that shit to me. So anyway, Lestat buy him the fair play. When Lestat buy him the fair play, Louis immediately puts his girls on. He says he paid all the people at the fair play better than they'd ever been paid before. He also made sure he paid Lestat all his money back, which was a point of pride for him. So he was big popping, had a bunch of money. He say from like 1912 to 1970, he was making plenty money. But what he wasn't going and doing was seeing his family. Okay, so he finally decides to go see his family, go see his sister, and she's so and when he go see his sister, the sister we had just seen when she was pregnant with the twins, she done had the twins, and she now done had a third baby, and it's the first time he coming around. She ain't seeing none of, and she's upset. She's like, oh, that's because you've been with this goddamn white man. And it's like, yes actually, sister, but it's deeper than that. He's not just with the white man, he's with the white devil, and he's joined him in hell. Oh my God. So now the sister give him the baby to hold, right? And now the sister goes to leave the room. He holding the baby and he out here, but he's a vampire. So now he's struggling not to eat the baby. All you hear is the baby heart beating, the baby this. And the sister come back in the room just in time to stop him. But then she going to leave the room again and give him the baby. And this point, Fang's out. So now when we pause the story right there, and Louis tells Malloy, you know, I don't kill anymore. I haven't killed since the year 2000. And Malloy was like, yeah. And you eat the baby. And he's like, oh, those other vampires are still a slave to the blood, not me. I said, I haven't killed since 2000. And then they have like a boy toy come sit next to him for him to go drink this man dry, right? Not dry. He didn't kill him. He did cause him to fall out though. He did take quite a sip out the man. And as he's saying all this and doing all of this, Malloy is like, did you eat the baby? But he didn't eat the baby. Rather than eat the baby, what he did was leave the baby on the ground and flee. Now, his sister does not know he's a vampire. So from her mind, imagine from the sister perspective, their younger brother died, and then you immediately left to go be with the white devil. Now you don't come around. It's been years. And when you show up and she give you her baby to hold, you leave her baby. A baby on the ground crying and screaming. Let me tell you something. He don't have to worry about them no more. He don't have to worry about going around his family no more. Because if I know black people like I know black people, they could curb stomp him in the kitchen when he get there. You can leave the baby on the ground? Okay. So then when he rushed back when we see him again, he's back home with Lestat all stressed out. He's like, oh my God, I'll never be able to control myself. I couldn't even be around my own nephew. Oh my God, I'm so stressed out. And Lestat is like, oh, there. If you really love your family, I tell you should stop going around them. Spare them this. You're a vampire. And my like, so what? So I ain't gonna ever have a family of my own? Like, he's like, you should just go ahead and put me in incinerator, man. Like, this ain't it. And Lestat is like, oh, what if we went on a vacation? What if we went on a trip? And Louis is like, this man, it almost like this hearing me say, just almost eat my nephew. This man talking about a trip. We cannot go in daylight, but this man talking about he want to take trip. And then Lestat is like, oh, okay, never mind. All right, because Lestat wanted to go to Rome, but he say, okay, never mind. Let's have Rome come to us. And then Louis say, oh, not another opera. Oh my God. And if sure enough, another opera. He was like, oh, I had tuxedos made for us. I've neglected our romance. And Louis received this like this was cute. And Louis received this like this was cute. And then immediately what you see is they say Louis can't go where they have to go. The different place where they have to go to watch these operas is not like, they don't give a that Louis have a little bit of money. He's a they are not on his run. He can't be there. So in order for Lestat and Louis to go to this opera place as a black man and a white man, Louis has to pretend to be his servant, walk behind him, treat him as has to pretend to be his valet, walk behind him, take his coat, do all of this, right? And I think it's so funny to me how Lestat plays like he don't understand the dynamics, but he's know exactly what it is to have Louis doing this kind of bullshit. And I think it's interesting how it's already upset. You act like you don't get it, even though he constantly talking to you about this. This is your partner. He's telling you how he feels the indignity of, as a black man, having to be in these experiences and having to be treated like this and having to be in these roles. And you think that, oh, when he's already upset because you already took his mortal life and turned him into a vampire that can't be around his baby nephew, you think, oh, you know what would really make the nice night? What would really make this a nice night? What would be really romantic? If I made him go to the opera again so he could have to pretend to be my valet and feel like a boy in the goddamn seat. I say, babe, I hate this Lestat. Lestat is a bitch ass. I hate Lestat. And I can't believe Louis, like, I just be like, Lord, Louis, you find yourself in this position. Louis is like, I'm sitting there mad as right, like boiling over because he hates this, the indignities of this. And this could see that. He know that. So isn't that interesting? And the fact that Louis said another opera, which means you regularly have him going to the opera. So you know this experience where he is being mad because he is forced to have to act like a servant to you, and that's what you like. That's what your idea of a romantic outing is. Mother's like, I want him to put a ice stake through this. Yes, I hate Lestat. And then, as Lestat's version of trying to disarm him, as Louis said he did and was successful somehow in Louis' mind, was to, as he see Louis sitting there like stewing over the fact that he have to pretend to be a servant in these rooms, Lestat could be like, oh, I hated being lonely. You've ridden me of loneliness. You have to be with me forever. And it's like, so that don't, so Louis was like, oh, he had a way about him. Oh, even as upset as I was, he was able to disarm me. I was like, so you're upset. Let me get this right, Louis. You are upset because as a black man in America, you are being forced to deal with all these racist indignities of having to serve white men and make yourself small. And you felt comforted by the white man who quite literally took your life, used his powers to manipulate you into his mind, to force a relationship with you, and took your life, and now has put you in a role, has made you his servant. His, like, what did Louis was like, he was basically all at the same time like my mentor, my God, my partner, my maker, my all of these different things. That was comforting to you as he was sitting there feeling upset about being I just don't know what this don't be clicking for Louis. I just really don't understand. I really don't understand what Louis into. Louis explains to us that Lestat loves the opera. Lestat loves music. That the only time that Lestat comes to appreciate humans, that they're not just food to him, is when they good at singing, when they good at the opera, when he have this appreciation for it. Now Lestat was there like feeling dead good because the woman was singing. She was singing her ass off, but he did not like how the man was singing, and that's an understatement, baby. Because why Lestat gets so mad about how bad the man's singing, he decided he could kill him. Lestat goes on a quest now after this to go pretend to go be the man friend, go talk him up, only so we could go take him back home. And let me tell you something, these are a whole lot of straight gay men in New Orleans, boy, because they surely for the times, they are not having a hard time finding men who seem to be willing to go back home with two all the time. I'd be like, interesting. But anyway, they take the man back home, and immediately Lestat starts like essentially torturing him, like making him like sing the song and showing him how he sucked and telling him how terrible he was, and then immediately go kill the man. He don't kill him immediately, like stabs him in the throat so the man could die slow but can't talk, can't sing. And when he does that, Louis screams out. Louis is like, why do you have to do that? Why do you have to humiliate the man? And Lestat gets angry, like, and Lestat was like, because I enjoy it. At least I'm not trying to make you enjoy it. He was like, kill him fast if you need to, but kill him, okay? You're a killer. Embrace your instinct, because Lestat is hell-bent on trying to force Louis to be the worst version of himself, because that's the only way he could be with a nigga Lestat. Gag him! So Louis watching Lestat drain this man for hours, and he say he participated, and Lestat was enthralled the whole time with like drinking this man, draining this man dry, and Louis said he never enjoyed it. He was just pretending all night, Lestat, and he was just feeling like, you know, a botched experiment. Like he was like, Lestat was wrong about me. I was never actually gonna savor it. I was never going to savor killing people or feel that way about it. Let me tell y'all, listen, what is this show? Like, what is this? Like, what is this? Because, oh my God. I don't even have nothing to say. What is this?